Hi everyone, I'm so glad you are back for our third and last video about similes. I hope you enjoyed starting to plan out your monster for your simile poem. Let's get started by reviewing, and remember to whisper your answer. Here we go. What is a simile? Remember, a simile is a comparison of two things using the word like or as. Is it okay to exaggerate in a simile, like the runner was as fast as a cheetah, since people can't actually run as fast as a cheetah? Is that okay? Yes, a simile can be exaggerated as long as it makes sense. Let's take a look at this story. I'll read it and you can follow along, and be on the lookout for a simile. It says, "Today I went to visit my grandparents. I had drawn a picture of them and me, and I gave it to them when we got there. They loved it. My grandma said, 'Oh, thank you, you are so sweet like honey.' Then we ate some cookies my grandma made. Her cookies are better than any other cookie I've had. I loved getting to see my grandparents." Okay, which sentence has a simile in it? This sentence here has a simile. You are so sweet like honey. What two things are being compared in this simile? Yes, the kid, the grandchild, was being compared to honey. Why would these two things be compared? A kid and honey are pretty much nothing alike, right? But what is the one thing they do have in common? They are sweet. Honey tastes sweet, and a child can act sweet by being kind and thoughtful, such as drawing a picture for someone. Take a look at the simile again. What is the little comparison word we used? The word like is used here. We could also have used the word as and say someone is as sweet as honey, so either works. I wanted to point out another sentence in the story that said, "My grandma's cookies are better than any other cookie I've had." Is that a simile too, since it's comparing the grandma's cookies to all other cookies? No, that's not a simile, because a simile compares two things that are usually very different and use the word like or as. Now, if it would have said my grandma's cookies are like a baking masterpiece or something like that, then it could be considered a simile. Now let's practice taking a trait and turning it into a simile, which will help you as you complete your monster simile poem. First, we'll start with a physical trait, which is what someone or something looks like, or what you can observe about something. Let's say there's a box that is really heavy. So if we want to write a simile to emphasize how heavy the box is, we could say the box is as heavy as, and then say something that is heavy. So we would need to think of something else that is obviously heavy, something that comes to mind when we think of heavy. Whisper at least one or two ideas. If you said an elephant, a whale, a house, a truck, or something like that, then you are on the right track. We could say the box is as heavy as an elephant, or the box is as heavy as a truck. Then we get a clear picture in our head. And those similes make sense even though they are exaggerated. Would it be a good clear simile to say the box is as heavy as a dog? No, some dogs are very light, and even though some dogs are actually heavy, they aren't a strong example of something that is obviously heavy. Now let's try a character trait, which is what someone or a character is like, their personality. Let's say a little girl named Susan is gentle. So if we want to write a simile to emphasize how gentle she is, we could say Susan is gentle like, and then we would need to say something that's gentle. So we would need to think about what comes to mind when we think of gentle. Whisper at least one idea. How about a kitten, a light breeze, a ladybug? Something like that could work. We could say Susan is as gentle as a kitten or as gentle as a ladybug. Then we get a clear picture in our head of how gentle Susan is. Would it be a good clear simile to say Susan is as gentle as a pillow? No, even though a pillow is soft, I don't think a pillow comes to mind when most people think of the word gentle. Okay everyone, that's all I have for us about similes. You are now ready to continue planning your monster simile poem and then to complete it. Again, your teacher will either assign this online or on paper. If you do it on paper, you might even end up making your own monster with construction paper. I have enjoyed bringing you these lessons, and I hope you enjoy this activity. Bye everyone!